Yo, this your boy Poe. Not Poe. What the fuck? It's your boy Iceberg, Roll Rims, suburbs. My camera kind of dark. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling in my basement. It's early. And today's topic, we're going to talk about a conversation with the devil and how it correlates to niggas in the hood or sisters in the hood. How that will actually get it in the hood. Let me give you an example before I play this. Today I went to walk my dog, right? And I went to the store. You know, I got to chain my dog up around the pole. But I walked my dog and I went to the store. Well, when I came outside, two crackheads sitting outside, dolphins in my house, fidgeting around. And he asked me for some cigarettes, you know, or some money. I'm like, nigga, I ain't got all that. Keep it moving. And the best thing to do with them type of people, man, when you see a crackhead, ask him for some money first. Ask him for a cigarette first. Then watch how quick he get the fuck away from you. So that's how you do that. You see them niggas coming up on you, be like, hey, Joe, you got $1? You got some change? It's going to look real crazy. Or tell him you got a credit card. But Satan, under the 2021, he coming full out the body. I mean, Satan doing shit now that is not even in the laws of regulation of nature no more. You know what I'm saying? He, like I said, I passed that motherfucker up. I go all the way to the store. I get in line. It's a brother sitting in front of me. Now, we all know when people got some place to go, somebody gonna be in line holding up the line. And a nigga, you know, and he get the accident, he try to go in his pocket to get his money, but his pants too tight. Now that's already a problem. He's like, damn, my pants tight as hell. I'm trying to get my money. I'm like, you think, motherfucker? So he finally get it out. He started asking about Newports, and then he said, how much is the carton? And he ain't even talking about he getting a pack. He go, oh, how much is this? How much is that? He laughing and talking. And I'm like, man, you got this bitch in you. Because females only want attention. You know, when people be in line sitting up there and knowing people wait, they want attention. They know all y'all looking at them like, hurry the fuck up. And they take their sweet ass time because that's attention. And when niggas do that, that means they got a lot of femininity in them. You know, as a man, I get my shit, I get the fuck on. So I get all the way up to the store in the same fucking height, ride up on the bike. I'm in line behind the dude with the tight pants taking all day. And he tap on the window and say, can I get him some Twinkies? This is the devil trying to piss me off. Like, nigga, how the fuck did it come from me all the way in front of my house, 5 blocks down, to your ass, ride a bike down here to see me in line behind your cousin, because it turned out these two niggas related, your young little cousin, and you asking me for some Twinkies or buy you some Twinkies. A grown-ass man. This ain't Satan in the hood. A grown-ass man. Nigga probably about at least 44, 42, somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? Grown-ass man. We ain't, you know, man, come on. How do our society look? You got these grown-ass men riding around on bikes with a stick in his hand, asking motherfuckers, can you buy him a Twinkie? This shit is fucked up. So today I'm going to play a Napoleon Hill, you know, a conversation with the devil. And I'm gonna introspect on it. You know, I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna show you how the devil fucks with niggas in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And as he said, if you don't occupy a certain percentage of place in your brain in its vacancy, then he'll occupy it for you. So what he was saying is that we have a positive and we have negative. But if we only occupy or stimulate the negative, then there's a whole series of positive brain circulations that's not being utilized. And the devil say he takes over that part if you're not using it. And how many people do we know use their mind? So I'm gonna play.
What right do you demand such royal respect?
And this is the conversation with the devil while I smoke real quick.
To the people of your world. Do you not think that entitles me to rate as royalty? Have you proof of your claims? Yes, plenty of it. Of what does your proof consist? Of many things. If you want answers, you will address me as Your Majesty. Some things you will understand, some you will not. In order that you may get my viewpoint, I shall describe myself and correct the false notions.
So he talking to Satan. Some dude talking to Satan.
That is a fine idea, Your Majesty. Start by telling me where you live, then describe your physical appearance.
Now, Satan has no physical appearance.
Why, my dear Mr. Earthbound, I have no physical body. I would be...
Let's pause right there. Why, my dear Mr. Earthbound, I have no physical body. Let's go back to Neo and Mr. Smith, Agent Smith in the Matrix, like they talk about in hoodx.com literature. Or Azazel with Denzel. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. How he jumped in from body to body. So the devil have no physical appearance per se. So let's go back to what happened to me this morning. The same fucking crackhead sitting in front of my house, squidging the action for change and shit. Got them and meet me all the way at the gas station. I mean, come on now. Perfect timing. I'm walking around blocks doing all type of shit with my dog all the way at the gas station and asked me for some Twinkies. See, that wasn't, you say, well, how's that the devil because he's occupying that crackhead mind. He already got him, so he control him. He made sure that nigga was sitting in front of my house when I came out, and he made sure that nigga all that time came all the way to the gas station and seen me in the back of the line waiting on his nephew and asked me to buy him some Twinkies. Now I'm supposed to snap. I'm like, nigga, Satan, please, it's too early for all that stupid ass shit. But what he do is he jump from body to body, fucking with people to people, whoever he can jump in. And that motherfucker jump in, negative people. It's easy for negative people. Positive people, Satan is rough. So what he do is use a whole bunch of outer negative people to fuck with a positive person. But I'm gonna play some more of this. I'm gonna smoke under the Iceberg road ran through the suburb.
I consist of negative energy, and I live in the minds of people who fear me. I also occupy one half of every atom of
I don't feel the devil. He be pissing me off. If I can get him, I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Perhaps you will better understand my nature if I tell you I am the negative portion of the atom. Oh, I see what you are preparing to claim. You were laying the foundation to say that if it were not for you, there would be no world, no stars, no electrons, no atoms, no human beings, nothing. Is that correct? True. Absolutely true. What?
Now you got to think about what he said, the negative portion. It's positive, it's negative, yin, and it's yang. We both need, we call it evil, but it's really negative. So we both need negative and positive to coexist. Now, the negative portion of me making this video is the reason I'm making this video. And the positive portion is what I'm saying. So the negative portion is used as fuel, the anger, the fire, the rage to actually create and engage. That's the negative. The positive is what's coming out of my mouth. But we both got negative and positive, and we got to use them, under the iceberg. I got to use them, You can be a sheep among wolves. But in these times, you got, ain't no sheep running around with these wolves. You got to be a wolf right with the wolves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you only occupy one half of energy and matter, who occupies the other half? The other half is occupied by my opposition.
God.
Opposition? What do you mean? The opposition is what you earthbound call God. So you have the universe divided up with God. Is that your claim? Not my claim, but the actual fact. Before this interview is finished, you will understand why my claim is true. You will also understand why it has to be true, or there could be no world such as yours, no earthbound creatures such as you. I am no beast with a forked tongue and a spiked tail.
Right.
But you do control the minds of 98 out of every 100 people. You said so yourself. Who causes all the misery in this 98% devil-controlled world if you do not? I have not said that I do not cause all the misery of the world. On the other hand, I boast of it. It is my business to represent the negative side of everything, including the thoughts of you earthbound people. How else could I control people?
There you go. So what Satan said is, the way I control you is to occupy 90 or 100% of the negative portion of you, the yin or the yang, the negative side, the aspect, and then it spills over to the positive. Because you're not using the positive. How many people go outside and think, man, let me help this person. Let me do this. Let me. They don't. You know what I'm saying? And really, I ain't helping no crackhead because we already know what that for. That's not positive. That's helping this nigga be more negative. So how many people go outside with the thought of help, positivity? They don't. But they go out with the thought of Kevin Samuels arguing with Omar Johnson, black women bitches, and they got this thinking on their way out the door, and Lil Boot Mo 3 got killed, and what's the name, went to jail. So if you're scrolling down your timeline, 9 times out of 10, or you're scrolling down YouTube, it's drama. It's drama everywhere. It's chaos. So when you're scrolling and looking at this, you might not have these thoughts, but these thoughts are being produced in your mind because this is what you're looking at. And 99% of our timelines is some negative, fucked up shit. So when you leave your house and go outside, you say, I ain't thinking negative. But did you scroll down your Facebook? Did you scroll down your Instagram? Did you scroll down your Twitter? They thinking negative. And if you reading this shit, you're thinking negative. So let's start.
My opposition controls positive thought. I control negative thought. How do you gain control of the minds of people? Oh, that is easy. I merely move in and occupy the unused space of the human brain.
Unused space, positivity.
Negative thought in the minds of people so I can.
What positive thing have you done? What good deed have you done? And if you don't do a good deed, then that means it's not being used. So he's gonna use
occupy and control the
other part that
you must have many tricks
and
and
this part ain't being used. But this one is
control of the human mind. To be be sure I
AKA
know
crackhead.
tricks and devices to control human thought. My devices are clever ones, too.
I want y'all to listen
Go
to this.
ahead and describe your clever tricks, Your Majesty.
Listen to what he
One
do.
of my cleverest devices for mind control is fear. I plant the seed of fear in the minds of people, and as these seeds germinate and grow, through use, I control the space they occupy. The 6 most effective fears are the fear of poverty,
being broke, niggas in the hood,
loss of love, old age,
no love,
and death.
Women fear getting old.
Which of these 6 fears serves you most often?
666, mark of the beast. 6 fears.
Poverty and death.
That's why niggas be hustling like that, killing.
Life, I tighten my grip on all people through one or both of these. I plant these fears in the minds of people so deftly that they believe them to be their own creation. I accomplish this end by making people believe I am standing just beyond the entrance gate of the next life.
Y'all gotta remember, this was some shit back in 1963 with no internet, no technology. He was doing this shit with under some Woodstock shit, Jeffrey Dahmer, Son of Sam type shit. Now imagine he got technology with the 5G internet and the COVID-19 fear base. So once we under the COVID-19 fear base, you wake up every day fearing COVID. So that's how he got you. Remember, he said fear. So you fear COVID every day, every day. Now he got you, and he gonna impose some more stuff on that. What? No crowds, poverty, meaning is everybody losing money, business is shut down. We know what happened with COVID. The whole world's at a standstill. So now he got the COVID fear. Then he got the poverty on top of that. And then he got old age, meaning is time going past. Then he got death. Everybody fear they gonna die under the COVID gap. Let's keep going.
To claim them after death for eternal punishment. Of course, I cannot punish anyone, except in that person's own mind, through some form of fear. But fear of the thing which does not exist is just as useful to me as fear of that which does exist. All forms of fear extend the space I occupy in the human mind.
I'll show it to y'all one day.
Your Majesty, will you explain how you gained this control over human beings? The story is too long to be told in a few words. It began over 1 million years ago when the first man began to think. Up to that time, I had control over all mankind. But enemies of mine discovered the power of positive thought, placed it in the minds of men.
Now you gotta think about it. He said until that time, he had control of man. This was like the Adam and Eve time. This is when like the cavemans and shit, you know, we was a lot more ruthless medieval times, you know what I'm saying? So I guess, I don't know what we was Africans doing, but I know how this Rome shit look, this Caesar, you know, the Spartacus and stuff like that, you know, that's what he meant by then. Look how ruthless they was. But
then began a battle on my part to remain in control. So far, I have done quite well by myself, having lost only 2% of the people to the opposition. I take it from your answer that men who think are your enemies.
They call it 5%.
It is not right, but it is correct. Tell me something more.
From then he lost 2% in 1963 to now 5%. So you got the 5%.
Time and space do not exist for me. I am a force best described to you as energy. My favorite physical dwelling place, as I have told you, is in the minds of the earthbound. I control a part of the brain space of every human being. The amount.
And when he said earthbound, he's talking about the 5-point star. And when he said the 5-point star, he's talking about arm, leg, arm, head, none of the goddamn advice Lord act, you know what I'm saying? So there's a 6-point star, and the 6-point star is arm, leg, arm, head with a tail, they call it, but it's not a tail, it's the spiritual aspect of man. But he done covered the spiritual aspect of man and kept niggas locked in the arm, leg, arm, head, 5-point star, meaning it's human. Smell, taste, touch, see, and all that. But it's a 6th sense, you know what I'm saying? The spiritual aspect of it, the iceberg rim through the suburb aspect that you have been cut off from. So he control your outer 5 senses for your 6th sense to produce the effect that he done gave you back out to the universe. I think I got it right. You know, iceberg rolling through the suburb, shit be tight.
And what sort of thinking that person does. As I have told you, I cannot entirely control any person who thinks. You speak of your opposition. Just what do you mean by that? My opponent controls all the positive forces of the world, such as love, faith, hope, and optimism. My opponent also controls the positive factors of all natural law throughout the universe. The forces which keep the Earth and the planets and all the stars balanced in their courses. But these forces are meek in comparison with those which operate in the human mind under my control. You see, I do not seek to control stars and planets. I prefer the control of human minds.
Mind control.
Where did you acquire your power? And by what means do you add to it? I add to my power by appropriating the mind power of the earthbound as they come through the gates at the time of death. 98 out of every 100 who come back to my plane from the earth plane are taken over by me, and their mind power is added to my being. I get all who come over.
What he's saying is reincarnation. If you down some negative shit, you're gonna go right back to him. Go back to King Von. Now King Von, he die, he rotate through under the negative aspect of the shit he on, because he never get it right. He rotate through when he died to Satan. Satan, he become part of Satan, and Satan throw him back to the earth to be reborn, and he gonna come back worse than he was when he left.
With any form of fear. You see, I am constantly at work, preparing the minds of people before death, so I can appropriate them when they come back to my plane. Hold on. What do you say?
I work hard appropriating the minds of people before death so they can come back to me on my plane. So it's some motherfuckers out here that work for the devil. Real talk, like plugged in. That died a long time ago into this King Von shit, and now they back again. See, King Von, he was when I said in my last one, he was going to war with himself. There's a positive in the car, off the pill, the negative. But off the pill, it's gonna, even though you help people, God body, that pill throw you into the negative. Now you over here. They was gonna make sure they got his ass up out of here before he became supreme positive, and Satan had no control over the nigga at all. So that's what a lot of these brothers and sisters got to know, that it's a war, spiritual war right now going on with yourself. And Satan trying to claim some motherfucking bodies, but we gonna continue on.
We how you go about your job of preparing human minds so you can control them. I have countless ways of gaining control of human minds while they are still on the earth plane. My greatest weapon is poverty. I deliberately discourage people from accumulating material wealth because poverty discourages men.
Black people, listen,
and makes them easy prey for me. My next.
Go back to poverty. I need niggas out here killing. Go back to the motherfuckers in Chirac. I'm gonna play a series of how many people dying anywhere in hell. Goddamn it, get 7, 8, 9, 20, 35 shootings a day and 9 hits. 9 people get. You know what I'm saying? How is this possible in Chicago? The average is goddamn it 20 to 30 shootings a day. How is that possible? Niggas out here dying, getting hit. That's like 10 for every 20, 30 shootings. 10, 15 people dead. And ain't nobody saying nothing about this. No. We out here talking about Omar Johnson building a school. Nigga, please. This nigga's out here dying. Nigga, I mean, like I said, poverty. What he said, poverty. Now, poverty is taking all the drugs out the black community under the Malcolm X, Black Panther, and all that. Put all the motherfucking, take all the, not to put the drugs in the community, take the jobs out. Now, you got to feel poverty. Once a person feel poverty, what they say, man, got to eat, nigga. I be, like Jigga said, I'd rather die and rich than grow dormant. I mean, basically, got to eat to live, or whatever. You know, motherfucker ain't out here trying to be broke. So that's, like he just told you, he got that going. So if I ain't out here trying to be broke, what am I going to do? Pick up some drugs. And everybody know in the drug gang, it come death. You know what I'm saying? So you start there. Let's keep going.
Next best friend is ill health. An unhealthy body discourages thinking. Then I have countless thousands of workers on Earth who aid me in gaining control of human minds. I have these agents placed in every calling. They represent every race and creed.
Every governmental institution you go through, it's going to be a motherfucker giving you a hard time. There's going to be a lot of black women in charge of that. Only because, hold on, I ain't on the black women. I love the black women, love the black queens, but I ain't going to play with you. I'm like Kevin Samuels. Not like that. That nigga sweet. And I ain't going to sugarcoat your ass on some Omar John. I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, they put you in the position because they know you're going through a lot. You got a lot of kids. You frustrated. You aggravated, you know, and then you go to work. And then when you go to work with that energy, you're going to fuck up a lot of shit and keep a lot of people in line and keep a lot of people from coming. And they doing this to you. That's why every place you go, the cheese line, the Section 8 and all that, it's a black woman and she got a fucking attitude and she feeling some type of way and she don't give 2 flying fucks because she thinking about her nigga that didn't come home at night and these badass kids. She had to feed, raise, and clothe. So, oh yeah. So he gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying? He makes sure in every institution he wants, he gonna put his hand in it. Boy, you better go sit down somewhere.
My enemies, such men as Socrates, Confucius, Voltaire, Emerson, Thomas Paine, and Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Not doing me any good.
Brown penny turned the other way. It's Abraham Lincoln, meaning is this is a nigga. Hold on, let me explain Abraham.
Because it discourages him.
Abraham was like Eminem. This nigga is really black. And that's why they made the brown penny and turned it the other way, meaning he went the opposite of season now. He really sat back like, man, we need God in this motherfucker. This shit y'all on? No. Then he killed himself. And Abe killed himself because he's like, Joe, Come on, man. Any thinking man in this society would have been wanting to blow his head off. Nigga, if you think you're going to go in and sizzle.
Independence of thought and encourages fear in the minds of men. Some wealthy men serve my cause, while others do me great damage, depending on how the wealth is used.
See, this is interesting right here.
Rockefeller fortune, for example, is one of my worst enemies. That is interesting, Your Majesty. Will you tell me why you fear the Rockefeller fortune more than others? The Rockefeller money is being used to isolate and conquer diseases of the physical body in all parts of the world. Disease has always been one of my most effective weapons. The fear of ill health is second only to the fear of poverty. The Rockefeller money is uncovering new secrets of nature in 100 different directions, all of which are designed to help men take and keep possession of their own minds.
And how it relates to the
hood. It is
hood.
encouraging new and better methods of feeding, clothing, and housing people. It is wiping out the slums in the large cities, the places where my favorite allies are found. It is financing campaigns for better.
You hear what he just said? It is wiping out the slums in the cities. Remember the reconstruction of the projects, the places where my greatest allies are found. He talking about niggas, gang banging, sliding and shit. That's him producing this in 1963 to 2021. And so, pay attention. It wasn't no O Block in 1963, but Satan got O Block.
Government and helping to wipe out dishonesty in politics. It is helping to set higher standards in business practice and encouraging businessmen to conduct business.
I didn't know Rockefeller was on this and it affected Satan like that.
Doing my cause any good. What about these boys and girls who are said to be on the road to hell?
Talking about the hippies.
Control of them? Well, I can answer that
Woodstock.
question only with
White Woodstock.
yes and no. I have corrupted the minds of the young by teaching them to drink and smoke, but they have me baffled through their tendency to think for themselves. You say you have corrupted the minds of the young people with liquor and cigarettes. I can understand how liquor might destroy the power of independent thought, but do not see what cigarettes have to do with helping your cause.
No.
You may not know it, but
Now, if y'all don't know, they finna ban menthol cigarettes. It's a lot going on here. And you thinking like, that's a good thing, right? Yeah. But somebody noticed the control Satan got through the menthol cigarettes on niggas. So it's like somebody is working in our cause, but then they're locking us up at the same time. But locking us up at a fast pace, is that really doing more good or bad? Joe, we got two things going on in 2021. For the Satan, Iceberg roll around through the suburb, run the ball like Walter Payton.
They deaden and undermine the imaginative faculty and help in other ways to keep people from using their minds most effectively.
I'm explain this.
Do you know I have millions of people, young and old of both sexes, who smoke 2 packages of cigarettes a day?
2 packs.
That means I have millions of people who are gradually destroying their power of resistance.
Resistance.
One day I shall add to their habit of cigarette smoking other thought-destroying habits.
Okay, hold on now. You thought it was liquor. He said, no, it's squares. And if I get into what squares do is, when I was locked up, I ain't had none of that. I ain't had no squares, none of that. Joy, I was sober. It was beautiful. I was just so happy to look at the sky. I was so beautiful to touch the ground. It was so beautiful just to be able to go out and do push-ups and shit, or even go to the gym just to be tired so you can lay down and wake up. Now, when I get in the world, things ain't so beautiful no more. So what you're saying is, he said squares undermine the imagination to the faculty, undermine that. Meaning is, when you don't got a lot of them habits, you have an imagination, and even as you older, you have an imagination. There's a lot of people who can sit in one spot all day, just, find the beauty in life. And what he's talking about, if he gets you on 2 packs a day, that means first it avoids your imagination in life. So you don't look at the trees, you don't look at the birds, you don't look at the squirrels, you just drive straight to work like, oh my God, I gotta go to work. That's no imagination, And then when you go to work, if you had a supreme imagination, you can look at it as a workout. You can figure out how to find in that job to make it benefit you. Like back in the day, I was younger, I used to have to go to work. I lift boxes. I said, okay, I'm going to work out every day. There we go. And I always felt better about that than, But I ain't gonna move too far from the thought. Go back. I'm gonna move too far from the thought. But I'm saying the 2 packs a day, he got you drifting away. And what he mean by drifting is your mind going more negative. 2 packs a day. First of all, the imagination is undermined, deadly shot, and you riding on a fucked up wavelength because I'm gonna let him explain.
Until I shall have gained control of their minds. Habits come in pairs. triplets, and quadruplets.
Now,
Any habit which
the most hated
weakens one's
blogger say
willpower
he glad he ain't
leads
got no
all of
habits.
its relatives
If
to
anybody
move
see
in and
this,
take
send this to
possession
the
of
most
mind.
hated blogger. I
The
like your
cigarette
style,
habit
bro.
not only lowers the power of resistance and discourages persistence, but it invites looseness in other human relationships. I never thought that cigarettes were a tool of destruction, Your Majesty. But your explanation throws a different light on the subject.
We'll do a part
How
2
many
too.
converts to the habit do you now claim?
I go free my man Chop. I'm a dog.
Millions are now victims, and the number is increasing daily.
He'll come back.
Soon I shall have most of the world indulging in the habit. In thousands.
There you go. But they're doing something now. They finna ban Newport cigarettes. I just want y'all to think about that. Let that ponder. Iceberg roll rim through the suburbs. And we're gonna all wonder, 2021, get it right. And I ain't gonna even say get it wrong, because we're gonna have to get it right. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna end it.